My client was cooking dinner the other night when she heard a weird sound coming from the living room. She thought it might be her cat playing with something, so she went out to investigate. When she got there, she saw that there was a fire started in her living room surrounded by clutter. She screamed, her partner came running, her neighbor came running. They were able to put the fire out quickly, thankfully. But it illuminated a big problem that I see a lot for people in a cluttered space. When we have clutter surrounding us in most of our rooms, sometimes that clutter can be flammable and it can ignite flame quite quickly. My client's fire was started because of a lithium-ion battery that was in a personal massager that she had been using most days. At the end of the day, she'd come home, she'd put it on her shoulder and back. So it wasn't something that was old, it wasn't defective, it wasn't doing something wrong, it was something that she used frequently. And it just happened to catch fire. And this happens a lot more than we expect when it comes to our lithium-ion batteries. And when we are in a cluttered environment where we have a lot of stuff built up that is flammable, this can be a very scary reality. And I'm not telling you this because I want to freak you out and I want to scare you. I'm telling you this because safety comes first. When I work with people in their homes, they always want to get organized. They're focused on how beautiful they want it to be, or the emotional weight that they're dealing with, or the stress that they're having to confront every day with the clutter. And I absolutely know that we want to get the clutter organized and under control. But first things first, we want to make sure that our safety is managed and in check. In the world of organizing, we call this harm reduction. It's where we will go in as a professional and help clear any safety obstacles that might be in the way. And there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be doing this in your home as well. As much as we want to get organized right away, it can be the best first step to just make sure that your house is safe. Because when we get organized, it can take days, months, weeks, years, decades for some people. And I never want you to feel like you need to rush and go faster, because this is a very personal journey. It's a healing journey. It's a transformation journey. And I don't want you rushing through it because you fear your house catching on fire or you fear things going sideways for you. I want you to go at the pace that works for you. It's how we heal. It's how we move beyond this. But we also want to make sure that you are safe. And so I want you to do your own wellness check. And we can do this by doing a few simple things right now in your home to make sure that you and your loved ones are safe, that your house is safe. First and foremost, we can learn from my client. Anything that's a lithium-ion battery, if we can get those stored in a space that is non-flammable. Now, this can be personal massagers like I talked about. It can be games. It can be anything that has a rechargeable battery. This is your old cell phones, your old laptops. Gather all of that and put it maybe in a plastic box or put it somewhere that there's not a lot of flammables nearby. Even better if you can use this as an opportunity to donate or do e-waste with some of these that you're not actively using. We don't want to leave those plugged in, charging nonstop, and we certainly don't want them plugged in and charging when we're not in the room. So it's really important to gather all of those things. You want to make sure that you have at least 36 inches of walkway. When my client's living room caught on fire, the fire department came and one of her entrances was blocked. So they had to take everything out from that space and put it into the garage. And so they did that so that they could have access. But you want to make sure that all of your access points are accessible. You also want to make sure that you have that same 3 feet distance around any heating element. So your heater, your stove, your fireplaces, make sure you have at least 3 feet of open space. Now, when I'm talking about clearing this space, you don't need to organize it. You can take a box, put all the stuff in a box, write on the box on all 4 sides, items from living room entryway, items from near fireplace, and set it aside in case you need to access things sooner than you've organized it. We just want to make sure that it's out. It's not a whole new project. We don't want to make this our new organizing endeavor. This is a safety check. This is going through and making sure that you are safe. You can also go in and check your fire alarms and your carbon monoxide alarms. Make sure that those are working. Test them once a month. Make sure you change those batteries out once a year and have a few extra batteries at home. There's nothing worse than the battery going out and having it beep at you in the middle of the night. I had that a few months ago when I moved into my new house. I had no extra batteries and it was not a fun way to sleep, I'll tell you that. You want to make sure that you're checking those regularly. Make sure that you have some sort of fire deterrent in your house, a fire extinguisher, a fire blanket. Those have become very popular and great to have on hand. Make sure that you have those in the different rooms of your home. We know that we want them in the kitchen, but in this case, my client's fire was in the living room. And so have them anywhere that you think that fire fires may occur, somewhere that you might be burning candles or there might be some sort of heating element. Keep that close at hand. And finally, make sure that you are not using any kind of frayed cords, no frayed chargers. Don't daisy chain your extension cord. You want to make sure that we are plugging things directly into the wall, that we are not using cables that don't fit or come originally with certain items. You want to make sure that you are being as safe as possible with the electronics in your life. Now, I know this can be a lot. It can feel like a lot to have to confront all this. What I'd like you to do is just pick one thing and go and do it right now. This might take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour, but I would rather have you take the time to get this sorted now and feel strong and safe in your own home. You deserve that. And for anyone who's feeling stressed when you're watching this at the thought of like, oh my gosh, I would be so mortified if people were in my house. Yeah, you're not alone. It's very stressful to have people come into our house in general. It's exceptionally stressful during a crisis. And when my client had this fire, her neighbors were in the house. The firefighters were in the house, and she never lets anyone in her house. It can feel very vulnerable to let people into your home, especially during an emergency. And if you feel judged or shamed or scared, please know that you are not alone. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't let other folks into their home regularly, because they don't want to be judged or shamed. And I will just remind you this, being let into your home is an honor. The people who come into your home, as much as they might want to help, it's not their job to suggest changes. In the case of my client, she's been working on her clutter for quite some time. This is not a surprise to her that she needs to work on her clutter. She's been actively working on it for quite some time. If someone offers you unsolicited advice on something that you know that you're working on, it is absolutely reasonable to stop them and say, thank you so much for your feedback. I appreciate it. I'm working on it. That's all. Thank you so much. I'm working on it. Or I'm working on it. Yeah, it's a project that we've been working on now. You get to be a work in progress. You get to be in transition. I understand that in a perfect world, your house would be super organized and safe and easy to function in. I get that. If you're dealing with your clutter, you are working on it. That is enough. This does not happen overnight. The television shows do not show the real truth. It takes a lot longer than you expect to get the clutter under control. And I want you to take the time you need in order to do it. But first things first, let's get your safety dialed in. Let's make sure that you, your family, and your home are safe. And it starts by just taking one of those simple actions to move you towards safety today. Write down in the comments one thing that you're going to do today to help ensure your safety. Make sure to follow us for more tips, organizing tricks, and insights. Thanks so much for being here.